the medium level problems for solving rational equations. Here's your first one. Please write it down with me. Like the 5 problems you've previously tried, the first thing is to find a common denominator. Some misconceptions or mistakes I've seen students make in the past is they forget that this goes together. This is one thing. This is another group. This is another group. So I can't just go x and a plus 4 and a plus 4. This goes together. So the best way to do this is to ask yourself, can you factor this portion? Do you know two numbers that multiply to equal 4 and combine to give you 5? You do. X plus 1 and x plus 4. We see the exact same expression over here, x plus 1 and x plus 4. So x plus 1, this is missing an x plus 1. We're going to attach by multiplication an x plus 1. Now they all contain a factor x plus 1 and the factor x plus 4. We found a common denominator. Let's go off to the side and identify what the excluded value would be. So out of the original, it cannot be a negative 1, and it cannot be a negative 4. Remember, we achieved that by setting this equal to 0 and solving. Okay, we have a common denominator here now. Let's wipe out the bottom and only work with the top. When I distribute the 1, it doesn't change anything inside. I'm going to combine like terms. Divided by 1 does not change anything. This is an answer. We can also write it as a solution set. This, bless you, 4 by itself is not an excluded value, so this is the correct answer. Again, how can we check to see if this is right? I could substitute a 4 in wherever I see an x and then do the math. When I add these up, it would equal this value. Going on to example number 2 from the easy set. Example number 2. Okay, are you ready? So, first ask yourself, can I factor anything out? I can factor out an x. So, this has an x plus 2, an x plus 2, an x plus 2 done. This has an x and x. This needs an x, so attach it by multiplying. You can only ever attach something by multiplying. Let's go and identify the excluded values. And this is where a lot of students get confused. If you want to look up here, they understand this portion. They get that x can't equal negative 2, but they forget what's the only number I can plug in for this x, and then this portion equals 0. 0 itself. Okay, I've found a common denominator. Let's wipe out the bottom. And now let's solve the top. Subtract 6 to the opposite side. Divide by a negative 7. Now let's see here, I forgot a negative in front of the 5. Divide by negative 7. Two negatives make a positive. And I'm done. I prefer not decimal form. Is it wrong? As long as you don't have to round, it's not wrong, but I would prefer it in fractional form. That's our second example, right, in this set? Okay, let's do... Right now, let's go on to our third one, which is often confusing for students. And where is this confusing? It's confusing because students forget what number is hiding underneath this 5 if you don't see it.
1.
It's a 1. That's the confusing part for this problem. So x, we're missing an x here. So x. Now I need to get to a 6. Multiply by 6, multiply by 6. So now I have 6x, 6x, and 6x. Although this looks like a 61x, hopefully you realize this is 6 times 1. Okay? All right, let's identify the excluded values. The only way to make this a 0 is if x equals 0. Same here and the same here. So I've identified the excluded values. I found a common denominator. Let's wipe out the bottom. 30x plus 1 equals, this by the way is not 16. Does everybody see where I was messy here? This is not 16. When you multiply, really, what is it? I should put parentheses, you're right. It is a 6. Okay, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. I'm going to divide by 30. And now I need to reduce this. So 5 goes into itself once, and 5 goes into 36 times. Written as a solution set would look like this. This is not 0, so this is my final answer. I can write it in either form. Okay, your next problem you're going to do with your partner. Write it down right away so I can turn on the stopwatch, please. And actually, because this is practice problem with your partner, I'm going to let you get a head start, and then I'm going to begin on it. So I'm going to give you a minute and a half working with your partner. I should hear you talking with your partner throughout this problem. Does anybody have questions for me about this problem? Okay, we are going to start your practice quiz problem. Here we go. So this is on your own without any talking with your partner. That is an ugly subtraction sign. There's your problem. Please write it down. You'll have 1 minute to complete this on your own. No penalties if it's wrong or if you don't get done in 1 minute. Please check your answer. Check with your partner for additional help. And if neither one of you have it, I'd like to walk around and help you.